guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to show you how to do a little bit more detailed drawing. This is a clear mason jar or a glass jar, and it's got some leaves, different kinds of leaves, and a couple of flowers in there. And this is a really cute drawing to make, to use to decorate a card, or you could even just make a picture and color it and fill it up with lots of color. All right, so for this, again, all you need is a pencil, eraser. I recommend a black pen for doing some outline work, and that's about it. Let's get started. All right, so I've got my piece of paper, and the first thing I want to do is I want to make a sketch. So before I start my drawing, I don't want to use harsh lines, so I'm going to hold my pencil lightly. I'm not pushing hard at the tip. I'm holding it more towards the center to give me a soft sketch line. These are great because they're easy to erase. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start in the upper half of my paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my paper slightly because I want to draw a very thin oval. It's not going to be big and wide. It's going to be nice and thin. So I'm using my sketch line, and I'm going to go around slowly and come back around. And you'll see that it is thin. It's a nice thin size oval. Next, I'm going to bring the edges down. I'm going to make a line that comes down from both sides. And then this curve, I'm going to copy it, but down below. And this is going to be the rim. So this is going to be the top of my jar. Next, I'm going to start to draw the body of my jar. So I'm going to start at an angle. I'm going to go out and out. So it goes off to the left and then off to the right. Then I'm going to use some sketch lines to kind of draw a straight line down. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And when I'm drawing sketch lines, oftentimes I'm putting the pencil down and then picking it off. Putting it back down where I left and picking it off. This kind of helps guide my pencil in a more straight line. If I just went all like this, I would probably get a jagged line. But when I do these soft strokes, it gives me a straighter line. So you might want to give that a try. Now on the bottom of these, I'm kind of matching them up to make sure they're about the same size. I'm going to curve the bottom. I'm going to curve the bottom. And I'm doing this so that my jar looks like it's got a round bottom. And just like this has a curve, I want my bottom to have the same kind of curve. So I'm going to use those sketch lines again to join my two sides. And there we've got a pretty good looking jar. Next, I'm going to start adding some details onto this jar. Now, the rim has a lot of little lines. And to make these little lines, I'm basically copying that first one. And some can be really close together, some can go a little further apart. It really doesn't matter, just as long as you're filling in this whole space with lots of lines. Lots of lines. And this is going to help it really come to life and start to look like a real jar. So there we've got our lines. Next, I'm going to start adding in my foliage, my leaves, my flowers. And this is how I do it. I'm going to start on the edge, the front edge, right here, that top line. I'm going to draw a line that kind of curves out to the side. And on this line, I'm going to put petals. And the way I make petals, they look like teardrops. They start here, they go around, and then they come back to the point. And I'm going to make a bunch of those. And you know what? I'm going to make them kind of fast so they're not all perfect in the same size. I don't want them to be the same size. So there we go. I made one flower. I'm going to do the same thing Except this time, I'm going to make my line go a different way. I don't want all my lines to curve because then I'll have a bunch of flowers all gathered together. I want to spread it out. So again, I'm starting at the top of the rim. I'm going to go up, and I might not even go as high. I might go a little lower. And I'm going to make another flower. There's those teardrop shapes. And I make my flowers pretty quickly because, well, I've been making them for a long time. But it might take you a little bit longer. That's okay. All right, next, I'm going to add a leaf right here off to the side. So just like this curved line, I'm going to make another curved line here. Here's how I'm going to make this leaf. I'm going to start with this sort of triangle shape. And then I'm going to make these zigzag lines that are going to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in. Okay, I'm going to do that on the other side. Out and in, out and in, out and in. All right. And I'm going to add some lines to give it some detail. There we go. We've got one leaf to the side. Now I'm going to continue to fill in this side. So just like I made a curved line to the right, I'm going to start making a curved line all the way up to the left. And I'm going to make a different kind of leaf. This one starts off with what looks like a teardrop on top. And then all the way down the sides, I'm going to continue to add those teardrop shapes, one on each side. And I'm going to go all the way down. And don't worry if it crosses over another flower, that's okay. Remember, we're doing sketches, so it's going to be really easy to erase. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to just keep on going all the way until I get here. Then I want to stop. All right. Now I'm going to add another leaf on this side. So I'm going to draw a curve, but this time I'm going to make it coming to the right, just to give it a little bit of difference. And this one, I'm going to make a half circle on one side and a half circle on the other side, just like that. And for detail, I'm going to draw little lines on one side and little lines on the other side. And they sort of look like V's. See the V shape right there? You can make V's. All right, so we've got our foliage, our leaves, couple flowers. Now, because this is a glass jar, I'm going to draw the rest of the stem. But technically, you don't have to. You could make this a colored pot, and then you wouldn't see the stems or the rest of the leaves. But since we're doing a glass jar, I'm going to show you how to do it. So I'm not going to draw a line through these grooves that we made, these series of lines. I'm going to skip that part. So I'm going to make an invisible line, stop it, and then continue it down, just like that. So it does look as if it's the same stem, okay? But I'm not drawing through. I'm skipping. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make an invisible line through, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to follow that curve. I'm going to do the same thing for the others. And some may even go straight. That's fine. This one's got a bit of a curve. And this one looks like it's crossing over, just like that. All right, there we go. Now, we're going to add a little bit more detail. So on the side here, where this point is, I'm going to make a triangle. And it's going to be upside down. And this is going to be a highlight. This is going to be like the light that's shining off of the glass. And then over here in this corner, I'm going to make a curve. Just like that, just to show that my jar is round. It has a round shape to it. Now on the bottom, remember we started with that nice thin oval? I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to make that nice thin oval right at the bottom. And that's going to make it look like that's the bottom of the jar. All right, and you know what? That's about it. And if you know how to draw different flowers, feel free to draw the flowers that you like or the leaves that you like. Go outside in your garden, look at the leaves on your trees, and draw whatever you like, guys. This is just supposed to be fun for you. And last but definitely not least, I really recommend using a black pen to go back over the lines that you want to show. I'll show you what I mean. See this line that goes through the leaves? I don't want that to show. So I'm actually going to take my eraser and I'm going to carefully erase any lines that are showing in my leaves or my flowers. Okay, I'm going to erase those because I don't want to trace those lines. Those lines are going to be hidden. I want the leaves and the flowers to look like they're in front. So everything that's behind it won't be showing. All right, now we can start outlining. All right, and after you've got it all outlined, go ahead and take your eraser and you're going to very lightly erase any pencil lines that you still see. Make sure your ink is dry before you do this, otherwise you'll get a lot of smeared lines and you might not like that so much. All right, here we go. All right, guys, and there you have it. There's a nice clear jar with some flowers and leaves in it. And you can add color to it. You can paint it if you'd like. I hope you had fun. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Bye.